First, the headlines. Chief Minister N. Biren launches CM the High Sea web portal, says portal launched with objective of rooting out corruption from public offices. People with no knowledge of forefathers' sacrifices distort state history, asserts former rebel leader R.K. Sanayama. And people should have choice to elect good representatives, says MLA R.K. Aimo. Good evening and welcome to MAMI Television Primetime English News. I'm Loving Rimai giving you the latest news updates. Chief Minister N. Biren launched web portal of CM the High Sea at the Chief Minister's Secretariat today. The web portal has been developed to receive complaints and grievances from the general public. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister N. Biren stated that gaining public trust and confidence or effective governance and in taking up various developmental works. As such, all the government officials must perform their duties dedicatedly and with transparency, he added. Mentioning that corruption is the main concern which hinders development of the state, he continued that the web portal was launched with the objective of rooting out corruption from public offices and enhancing public service delivery in the state. Public can raise their grievances in the web portal by logging on to www.cmthehighsea.mn.gov.in, and the complainants can also check the status of their complaints. The Public Grievances Redressal and Anti-Corruption Cell will use the portal to liaison with the concerned department to redress the grievances of the public within a stipulated time and also to provide the actionable complaints to the State Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Department for further inquiry and investigation. It may be mentioned that the Anti-Corruption Cell in the Office of the Chief Minister was reconstituted as Public Grievance Redressal and Anti-Corruption Cell on 23rd March 2022, and a secretary rank officer was appointed as in charge of the cell. So far, a total of 134 complaints have been received by the Public Grievance Redressal and Anti-Corruption Cell, out of which 85% of the complaints have been resolved and communicated to the complainants. Ministers, Chief Secretary, Administrative Secretaries, and other government officials among the others attended the launching program. Former rebel leader R.K. Sanayama has asserted that it is an utter mistake that people with no knowledge of forefathers' bloodshed and sacrifices in building the land are distorting the history of Manipur. He was speaking at the inaugural event of a three-day international literary cultural event on history, culture and literature of Manipur and diaspora at Centenary Hall, Manipur University today. Apunba Khwairgirol, Malem Gilub, Manipur Sahitya Parishad Masha Thaubal, Ningol Kut Wangjing, Loyalam Library Wangjing, Manipur University Students Union, and Malem Gi Yelhaulon Apong Lub, Mayang Imphal jointly organized the event. Speaking to media persons on the sidelines, R.K. Sanayama maintained that the attempt to distort the written history of the over 2,000 years and the history before the documentation is the biggest form of crime. He further asserted that these people do not love the motherland and that people with sense of patriotism will never try to distort state history. R.K. Sanayama underlined that writers play a huge role in a society which has faced various issues over the ages. However, they only seem to work for their respective literary organization or writers' forum. He further expressed happiness at organizing such literary event with an objective of uniting literary organization at this juncture and also stressed the need to organize such event widely. He said writers are expressing their views and feelings through their novels, poetry, through theater plays and Shumang Kumhei in cultural and performing art, and through Pena, Wari Liba, etc. in cultural and performing art. However, their art will have more impact if they also talk about the problems and issues facing the state than just focusing on glorifying the state and its beauty, Sanayama added.
Akoi mayek ta idin thamaba history sei lising ani farkadore madugi mamangdagi sei lising kaya lerkhra akoi history ithogagi lehogda bhaitara si lepak sigi mari pak ningba adu mai pai pu singna lepak si sangolakpada ta kiba I humang mayam do madu masak khang de basingna akoi khunai sigi akoi lepak sigi history distort tonu honarak pasi masi yam sum den khale adu mari pak nung siba manipur nung siba singna de akoi history se kan kedong su serana na nathei na pogin honara wa ne khale honor pham se thok de ne khale adu masi honarak pasing de lepak sibo nung siba myo ni na idlo ngamde akoi mayam lo phom thok de ne khale distort to wa se khwai de han acho criminal offense ne khale proof gi mayok ta al madu akoi mayam su proof sa sing na su moru ne yellow proof sing na masi khom khom thwe ne khale
MLA of Sagolban Assembly Constituency, R.K. Aimo, has said politicians must work for the welfare of the people and let them choose their worthy representatives. He said this during an interaction program held today at Sagolban Kangabam Lekai Yumjau Lairembi Community Hall, organized by supporters of Honorable MLA R.K. Aimo Singh and Kangabam Lekai Apunba Meira Paibi Sagolban Kangabam Lekai. Speaking on the occasion, MLA Aimo said today's program was organized to make sure that benefits of government welfare schemes reach people of every 36 polling stations of the constituency. During the program, they will discuss steps to be taken up in the localities of the constituency in the next 5 years. Addressing the issue of water shortage faced by the people of Sagolban Kangabam Lekai, the MLA assured to build a new water tank for long-term purpose. He further assured to install solar lamps on either sides of the streets and take up necessary steps to fill the lacking infrastructure of the locality, adding that he will work towards fulfilling the needs of the people. MLA Aimo sought people's support for the development of the constituency.
Lakadabun chahi manga sida karam kamai toksigi habagi adugumba koi lekaisigi committee members adigi ahalaman sing advisor adigi tumnagi praja mayam siga tanara bangthokna naba haiduna adugi chamchamba election program ma lekaisiga sinam sumnagi kai haigadra koi prajagi wakhalo se khangala thabak bangthokpa yanaba hai governance at the doorstep of the people hai prajagi khongkan laiga program scheme si yob se phangmangam
Vice-Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra, has said the rich culture of Manipur identifies the state to the world. He said this at the two-day national seminar held on the theme, The Dialogue Between Hinduism and Buddhism in the Northeast India, jointly organized by the Rajashri Bhagyachandra Cultural Research Center, Manipur University and Philosophy Department of the University at the Court Hall of Manipur University. Vice-Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor N. Lokendra, and Dean School of Humanity, Manipur University, Professor N. Aruna attended the seminar as the presidium members. Speaking on the occasion, Vice-Chancellor of Manipur University, Professor Lokendra, said, "Everyone must learn from the ideology and strength of Rajarshri Bhagyachandra. The world respects Manipur and India for its rich culture, and in the field of sports, it is possible through people's hard work," adding that organizing such seminar by Rajashri Bhagyachandra Cultural Research Center of the university is very timely. Lokendra hoped that the people of the state will acquire knowledge on Hinduism and Buddhism from the experts.
Manipur society was also closed. The Myanmarese on the one side during the 16th, 17th and 19th century, and even till the 19th century, East India Company on the other side. All those movements of the martial group, they could not move any further. The martial character of the people combined with the rich spiritual and religious ideas which were coming from different parts of the Indian subcontinent.
A team of Kokching Police Commando Unit arrested 2 vehicle lifters along with 3 stolen vehicles. The arrested persons have been identified as Muhammad Azad Khan, 25, son of Muhammad Amjad Ali of Sora Awang Lekai, and Muhammad Anish Khan, 22, son of Muhammad Anwar Khan of Moray Ward No. 5, currently staying at Sora Chingya Lekai. According to police report, the team of Kokching District Commando Unit, led by Inspector Muhammad Abash Khan, launched a search operation at the residence of Azad Khan last night around 9 p.m. after getting information about some stolen vehicles being hidden in his residence. During the search operation, the team recovered 3 stolen 2-wheeler motorcycles. Azad was arrested as he could not provide proper documents of the vehicles. During interrogation, he disclosed that Anish Khan had brought one of the stolen vehicles. Immediately, the teams rushed at Sora Chingya Lekai and managed to arrest him. Anish admitted that the motorcycle was handed over to him by Boboy of Lilong to sell it to a buyer at Moray or Myanmar. The arrested persons, along with recovered vehicles, were handed over to Kokching Police Station for further legal action. A team of Iribul police arrested 1 person along with heroin near Keiku Kabui village gate. The arrested person has been identified as Muhammad Imtiaz Khan, 31, Keiku Awang Lekai in Imphal East District. According to police report, the team of Iribung police conducted frisking and checking near Keiku Kabui village gate on September 16 around 5:30 p.m. They recovered 24 vials of heroin weighing around 8 grams from his possession. The arrested person, along with the seized item, has been handed over to Iribung Police Station by registering a case under NDPS Act. Let's take a short commercial break. Station for more updates.
iPhone gi mapu oibiu, iPhone gi mapu oibiu. Lakliba October gi tang kunmari, nungtil pong ama taba matamda, sumnatagi lupa chama khaktana iPhone gi mapu oibiu. Thamjariba pricing: first price iPhone 13 Pro Max, second price iPhone Mini 12 128GB, third price iPhone SE 2022 128GB, amasung consolation price oina miyoi kuntrada lupa chamnga pizagani. Ticket agent oibiningba singna lemna ticket tara amadi lupa lising manga gi mathakta fangbaki khudongchaba pizari. Ticket Fangfam Singh, Sur Pharmacy, Malom Bazar, Sanatombi Store, Malom Bazar, Pan 150, Waheng Lekai Mobile Dukan, Ipak Offset Praise, opposite Shanghai Express, Amasung FSC Office, Kangabam Lekai, near Vaiko Hotel, Panthoibi Pharmacy, Lamphel, near Lamjingba Hospital, Sorzini Hotel, Moirang, near Maibia Gas, Infal College Gate Dukan, Amur Dukan, Amasung Bembem Wholesale Dukan, Patsoy Part 1. Draw Otfam, Kaisampat Lemazam Lekai Community Hall. WhatsApp ki khuthangda ticket booking tawbagi khudong chaba pizari. Akupa marol gidamak pizari ba number sida contact tobiu 8787573129.
We're back with the national news update after the break. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav hit out at the BJP today after the state police stopped his party's march to the state assembly in Uttar Pradesh's Lucknow. He said the ruling BJP is insecure, adding that the weaker the government, the greater the oppression. The Samajwadi Party had taken out a protest to the state assembly against the issues in the state. However, they were stopped by the UP police before they could reach their destination. The police said the party did not have permission to hold the protest and added that authorities had signed a route to so traffic movement will not be affected. Joint Commissioner of Police Piyush Mordia said the party workers refused to take the designated route, so the police had no option but to stop them. The issues that the party protested against include unemployment, inflation, lack of electricity supply, and incidents of crimes against women in the state. Mizoram government has instructed all refugees from Manipur currently sheltered in the state not to purchase land or run businesses without prior permission from the state government. This follows reports that the refugees were opening up shops and also trying to purchase land in the border areas, official sources at state capital said. Mizoram government has started issuing identity cards to the refugees and they have been barred from enrolling themselves for Aadhaar card, officials said. According to official records, more than 30,000 refugees from Myanmar have taken shelter at over 150 camps in Mizoram. An order issued by the Aizawl District Administration recently said that refugees from Myanmar should not purchase property and start any business activity without prior approval from the state government. They are also required to inform the local or village level committees on Myanmar refugees about vehicles brought into the state from their country. The Mizoram government has also instructed all local and village level committees to ensure that the orders are strictly implemented and any violation must be reported to the chairman of the district task group on Myanmar refugees. India recorded a total of 4,858 new COVID-19 cases, with 18 deaths in the last 24 hours. With this, India's tally of COVID-19 cases rose to 4.45 crore, while the active cases increased to 48,027, according to the data updated by Union Health Ministry. The death count, however, climbed to 5.28 lakh with the fresh fatalities. The active cases comprise 0.11% of the total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate has increased to 98.71%, the Health Ministry said. An increase of 105 cases has also been recorded in the active COVID-19 caseload in a span of 24 hours. The daily positivity rate was recorded at 2.76%, while the weekly positivity rate was at 1.78%. Meanwhile, the number of people who have recuperated from the disease surged to 4.39 crore, while the case fatality rate was 1.19%. On the other hand, according to the ministry, 216.70 crore doses of vaccines have been administered in the country under the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive. Moving on to the international news, as an increasingly aggressive China flexes its military muscles, US President Joe Biden once again came on record to state that American troops would defend Taiwan in case of Chinese invasion. Biden was doubling down his assertion made in Japan earlier this year when he said the US would intervene militarily if China attacked Taiwan. The US president's remarks were the latest sign of a shift away from a policy of strategic ambiguity towards Taiwan, contrary to the White House's stance that there has been no policy change with regards to the self-ruled island. Taiwan welcomed Biden's emphatic words, which it said reflected the United States government's rock-solid security commitment to Taiwan. Taipei said it would continue to deepen its close security partnership with Washington. On the other hand, a furious Beijing denounced the US president's remarks on Taiwan, saying they severely violate long-standing US policy over the self-ruled island. China has been increasingly hostile towards following US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan in August. Before we wrap up with today's bulletin, giving you the headlines once again. Chief Minister N. Biren launches CM the High Sea Web Portal, says portal launched with objective of rooting out corruption from public offices. People with no knowledge of forefathers' sacrifices distort state's history, asserts former rebel leader R.K. Sanayayama. And people should have choice to elect good representatives, says MLA R.K. Aimo. With that, we've come to the end of today's English Primetime Bulletin. Stay tuned to MAMI Television for more updates.